So it appears, sisters and brothers, that we survived last weekend, that we survived the Super Bowl without the Chiefs in it. I know, I know it's hard to believe, but we got through it. And of course, the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, which doesn't mean a lot to most of us. But I'm a big fan of the New York Jets, you see, and uh, seeing my irrational but completely justified hatred of the New England Patriots satiated was a wonderful thing to see. Oh, sisters and brothers. And of course, Wednesday, pitchers and catchers, at least for the Royals, reported baseball season on the horizon. And if since we we are lucky enough in the interim to have the Winter Olympics, you're following the Winter Olympics at least a little bit, yes? The skiing, right, and all the sledding sports, the bobsled, the luge, the skeleton, all the ice skating, the speed skating, the ice hockey, the curling, which is not quite skating, but it's up there. Very dramatic, the curling. Figure skating, you would have noticed, sisters and brothers, that the American favorite for the figure skating, Ilya Malinin, had a rough performance, and he didn't even get to the medal platform. Yeah, because of course all of these athletes are want to be champions, and becoming a champion requires making good big decisions and making good little decisions, and making those little decisions well makes it easier to make the big decisions well. In a way, we're between two liturgical seasons as well. We This is the last Sunday in ordinary time before the beginning of Lent. We won't have ordinary time again, sisters and brothers, until the end of May, as we are starting on Wednesday with Ash Wednesday, our 40 days journey through Lent. And even more wondrously, our 50-day journey through Easter. We start, of course, Ash Wednesday, this Wednesday. And of course, we are called to examine during the course of Lent the little decisions and the big decisions that we make with our lives of faith. Because before women and before men are life and death, good and evil. Whichever he chooses will be given him. We are given this opportunity as we start to build, as we start to shape, as we start to develop our Lenten disciplines, to consider how we better live the commandments of God, because whoever obeys and teaches these commandments will be called greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And each of us have our own challenges in living the commandments, making the big decisions, making the little decisions. And so we construct, we build, we shape our Lenten disciplines with that in mind. You know, the three great pillars of Lent, yes? As we construct our Lenten disciplines. Of course, there's the fasting. What are we giving up? And often we think that's the end of the story. Our increased almsgiving, how much more generous we are with our material wealth to those who need. And our extra prayers, how we can bolster our prayer life. Making little decisions well, so that it'll help us make those big decisions well. Our Lord tells us that we have heard that it was said to our ancestors, "You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment." Big decision, to kill or not to kill. But then he tells us whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Little decision, but important. Making little decisions well makes it easier to make those big decisions well. Our Lord tells us, you have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery, quoting directly the sixth commandment. Big decision. And yet he also tells us, trying to be delicate with the young ears here, that how we look at other people in our minds and our hearts, how we appreciate another person's beauty, may lead us to commit adultery in our hearts. Microphone. Little decisions made well makes big decisions easy. Little decisions made poorly make big decisions poor decisions. When we approach individually, sisters and brothers, our Lenten disciplines, we ask God to open our hearts so we can recognize where we need to grow, where we need to make better little decisions, and spend that 40 days of Lent making those little decisions, so that in our lives of faith we can make better big decisions, so that we may be firm in keeping God's statutes. God made us, sisters and brothers, to be champions. Champions in our lives of faith, champions in heaven. And like all those athletes, we are called to make good little decisions to help us make good big decisions, so that we may be so fashioned by God's grace as to become pleasing to God and be champions here on this earth, living our lives of faith, and later on in heaven, so that we may speak God's wisdom, mysterious, hidden, which God predetermined before the ages for our glory. Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever.